What's up? Welcome to the Chad Prather Show. It is Thursday, right? Well, we're already at the end of a week, man. Trump has got a peace ceasefire deal again, I guess, with Gaza and Israel. We'll get into that. The IRS has furloughed like 54,000 employees, something like that, or maybe like half. I don't know. We'll get into that as well. Trying to figure that thing out as well, because I know Party Foul Steve is going to try to figure out how to skirt the system on that deal, 100%. And somewhere out there, there is a new little Chad emoji that I'm trying to get in the chat, a little sparkly Chad. I'll have to figure out how you do that later on. That's on Rumble. I see those dancing bananas. For those of you that are over on YouTube, join the live chat over on Rumble. Come on over to the other side. But if you don't know what we're talking about with dancing bananas, that is 100% a Rumble thing. But I'm glad you're here no matter what. If you're on Facebook, if you're on X, or if you're on Rumble or YouTube, how is everyone doing today? The world is moving a little too fast, folks. It's chaotic. It's crazy. But we're here for it. And I tell you, did you know, this is what I was looking at a little while ago, that they say it's mostly an exaggeration, but according to Dr. George Nikolopoulos, do you know who that is? If I say Dr. George Nikolopoulos, do you know who that is? That's Dr. Nick. That's Elvis's longtime physician. That when Elvis died, he had been suffering from long-term constipation. He had chronic constipation. And it was caused by a combination of poor diet, lack of exercise, and the heavy use of prescription medications. I don't know if you know this or not, but it'll stop you up. And they had an autopsy that revealed that his colon was nearly twice the normal size. The reason I'm bringing this up is because recently we talked about Elvis's colon and how they found like 60 pounds of fecal matter in him after he died. Yikes. I don't want that to happen to me. But it was twice the normal size, which suggested long-term impaction and serious bowel disorder called megacolon. That sounds like a horror movie right there. They need to do that on the next series of monsters, the megacolon. But somebody said that he'd not had a bowel movement in, somebody said 4 months, but they said that's not true. 4 months without that's a long time. But that's a bad deal. I'm going to ask Party Foul Steve what's the longest he's ever gone without pooping. That's the kind of stuff we're going to get into. Forget ceasefires and the end of war. But we're going to give Trump the Nobel Peace Prize today. Might as well. And we'll, of course, get into our pinheads of the day. And hopefully those of you, and I see what you say there, Shy Girl 24, it is time for a colonoscopy. It's always time for a colonoscopy for you fellas. If you're over 40, it's time to go over there and get that thing done. It's a good little nap. It's about 20 minutes. It's refreshing. And you're right, Linda, that's impossible. It's like Robin Williams says, you haven't farted ever in your life? Don't get any sharp objects near her. But, yep, you got to. I love the story of Clint Emerson, Navy SEAL Clint Emerson. He's been on the show a number of times. And him talking about he was a medic Navy SEAL. And I'm not going to say who it was. He's also been a guest on the show a number of times, and I've been on his show about how he got impaction. And Clint had to go behind enemy lines, so to speak, and dig that out. That's a fun thing to do in the hotel room. Just ask Party Foul Steve. Holy cow, what are we talking about today? It's a lot of stuff. And we're going to get into it. I see those dancing bananas. I'm waiting for you guys to get in here and blow that chat up. Hey, let me do me a favor. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to the Rumble channel, please. And also to YouTube, all the places, subscribe. Get over to where podcasts are offered. Apple, Spotify. Actually, this show's not current on Spotify. We're still working on that. That's behind the scenes. Spotify's having some technical issues loading our show. Our show's just kind of going off into the ether, but you can get it on Apple Podcasts, iHeart, all the other places. But leave us a rating and review, okay? R.L. Morel. Ginger chews will help you stay regular. There's a lot of things that will help you stay regular. Be careful with that colonoscopy. I have a friend that passed after having it, and they nicked her, and infection set in. Well, that can happen with anything. Pistachios help you stay regular. What have we gotten ourselves into? You know what else will help you stay regular? A dancing banana. Maybe. I don't know. Give you a little potassium. Maybe potassium helps you poop. Speaking of oil drilling, our friends over at Allied Oilfield, AlliedOilfield.com, industry leaders in the industry that helps us drill, baby, drill. Go over there and check them out. They have been a partner of our show for a while, and they've been good friends to us. So check them out, AlliedOilfield.com, if you want to check out what they got. If you're in the oil business, the gas business, the trucking business, if you got a big equipment that needs refurbished, they can help you over there. And check them out, AlliedOilfield.com. Fiber. That'll help you stay regular. Let's bring him on, Party Foul Steve. Let's see what Party Foul Steve uses to stay regular. What's up, buddy?
Hey, guys, what's going on? I got a dancing banana right here.
Stop shaking that up and down.
You, guys and gals, and for Elvis, hang on.
Stay off the prescription drugs.
You cracked me up with Elvis. You said his colon was twice the size. If his rectum would have been twice the size, then I guess he wouldn't have that problem.
Wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah. You think it was the drugs, the prescription drugs? Advil will stop you up, right? Take too many
everything
Advil
will stop you up. You take too much of it.
Yeah.
The prescription drugs will definitely stop you up.
You got to drink a little whiskey every now and then. Maybe some tequila, flush that stuff out.
Yeah, get the whiskey.
Yeah.
It'll give it to you.
But
it scares me. Stop bouncing up. Stop putting that in your mouth. Stop bouncing that up and down.
I can eat a banana on the Chad Prather show. I got to get some fiber. Y'all scared me with all that.
I just want you to quit wiggling it. I like dancing bananas in theory, not
not real life ones.
I like how you had your readers on when you came on, like you were waiting on some spillage or something.
No, I am literally. I put them on. I have to have them to read anything, but I can't see up there with them. I can't see my monitor and stuff, so I have to have it to read. I have a laptop here, camera there, so. And a phone.
I understand those dancing bananas. No, Megan Duthu, she created a little jazz Chad emoji. I'll show it to you. She created this little. Can y'all see it? Little jazz Chad.
Oh, I thought it was going to be on Rumble.
Well, it's going to be when we load it on there.
Oh,
but I got to figure out how I think they call them emotes on there, and you have to Listen to all these pharmacists on here, man. We got magnesium going, Metamucil, fiber. Take some Miralax, all the stuff.
Keep moving, keep hydrate. With my hydrate, with Make Wellness, you could get on that stuff, dude. That keeps you regular. Promise you.
So hold that bottle back up there. You got
this is the fit right here.
Somebody just asked if Chad left the blaze. Wow.
No, that was me that left the blaze.
Somebody hadn't watched the program in 2.5, 3 years.
Yeah, I left the blaze, and then Chad stayed there until he left.
Yeah.
I was like, I'd had enough.
Actually, I guess we are. At the end of this year will be 2 years since I've left the blaze. Yeah. Peaches will clean you out. Dulcolax chewable, some coffee. I usually poop about 4 a.m, man, when Steve starts texting me.
Yeah, I did text
spicy chicken. You're right, Linda.
Well, I got that extra strong, like, quad shot of coffee in the morning, and I hit that first. I hit that right, and I'm going to tell you, Chad, I watched before the noise every morning, but I have that coffee first.
Yeah.
And then I have Jesus. So I guess I need to have Jesus first and then the coffee. But right now,
little coffee,
little poop, and Jesus.
Okay.
That order.
That'll keep you straight.
Yeah.
That'll keep you straight. And these are the things that matter. They really are. These are the things that matter. And I want to make sure that all of you guys stay regular. Stop taking opioids, Fort Worth Mom. Linda says coffee does nothing to me, and now I got an image of Linda trying to pull an Elvis.
Try the other end, Linda.
Put it in the wrong hole. Oh, my gosh. We'll put the dancing jazz Chad in there, sparkly Chad. Look at it, though. Megan created that, and then she told me how to put it in there, but I still don't know because I can't find the thing that says channels.
Well, I need Megan to create me one. I bet I could figure out how to. No, I can't figure out how to put anything anywhere, dude. I finally got yesterday they came back with everything after a year and a half on Facebook of demonetized. I am now monetized, and I'm going to try not to ruin it.
I got the biggest kick out of you, dude, because you're like, I made $5 off of a post last week. And then the next thing I know, there's 30 posts by Steve, like one right after another. I
was trying to do what I used to could do pretty good but I know what post will hit and which ones and how to do it and stuff like that. So I'm just trying a couple of different things to see which ones people, and not just posts that people just scroll on by, because I scroll on by a lot of posts, but I want something that you have to, react to. That's what you want. You want reactions. You want the impressions, that kind of thing. So,
you have been without monetization on there for how long? A year?
Over a year.
Okay. And I said to you, the first thing I said to you is don't post anything that's going to get you banned again or get that demonetized. And your third post is you were talking about there's only 2 genders. And I was like, just go ahead. Go ahead. Nobody likes money.
I mean, that's real science, though. I'm not spreading lies.
But they don't see it that way.
It was kind of a joke. I kind of buried it in there. So maybe,
bro, I'm telling you, learn about algorithms and AI, because you can't post anything that they don't see. You're not slipping anything by the algorithm.
Yeah. You know what I got the biggest reaction out of? Driving slow in the fast lane.
Yeah. People get pretty passionate about that. I made that video 2 weeks ago about getting mad at people in the left lane driving slow, 20 miles under the speed limit. I got accused of being a highway murderer, and I was going to cause people to die and all that. And I'm like, man, this world has zero sense of humor. I mean, none.
Yeah, and I was just joking. But, man, it's crazy because I got on Facebook. I was at about 4 o'clock this morning, and I started reading this post about things that should go in the refrigerator and things that shouldn't or don't have to. These people are going at each other's throat. There was 400 comments on what belongs in a refrigerator and what doesn't. And it was like talking politics in there.
People were fired up over it.
Yeah. Over some mustard, whether it goes in the fridge or not.
Yeah. And for the record,
butter.
It does. It does.
It does at my house.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to do it. Joe says that he pooped while watching Before the Noise this morning and looked you straight in the eyes. You know what? That's a good place to find the Lord right there. So, hey, you're definitely probably calling on Jesus. All right, let's go over to our top stories. Let's get over there to those things, see what's going on in the world today. All right, so Delta Airlines is facing some backlash as customers boycott. I didn't hear about this. They're demanding refunds after the airline refused to take action against a pilot and DEI flight attendant who removed an elderly man from a flight for wearing a MAGA hat. Let's see what happened.
Sorry? Oh, let me find it.
Just 1 second. He'll be right back.
Did you see Sarah Gonzalez coming
right now, I've been asked to step off the plane because of my hat. Can you believe that? So now I'm waiting for the captain to have a word with me, and I'm flying Delta, and I went on there and sat down, and I haven't said a word to anybody. I haven't done anything, but because of my hat, they. What's that?
You know,
This is more of a private conversation.
I didn't know.
Respect you.
Oh, it ain't no problem.
I'm curious to know what the captain had to say here.
It's not respecting me, taking me out here in front of all these.
Yeah, that's fine. Perspective. I have to comply with the wishes of everybody. Okay.
Oh, everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah,
exactly.
what about my wishes?
Okay, so here's the deal. Safety is my number one concern.
I ain't never broke a law in my life.
I understand.
And I fly my Sky Priority, and I fly Delta. I wouldn't fly nothing else.
I hope you.
I haven't said nothing to nobody. Haven't touched nobody.
Let me explain. Okay. I hope you write this up. I do.
Yeah, what?
I hope you write this whole thing up. Okay. What happened? Because Delta.
Believe me, I'm videoing it.
Oh, I don't.
Oh no! I can video, but I'm being quick here in front of people. But
you and I are going to stop this.
Is this a Delta going to take me off the plane because of my hat?
Not because of your hat.
Look at those nails.
It's because you're not complying with the instructions.
What's there to comply with?
My flight crew is in charge of safety.
Okay, and I'm doing something wrong.
So,
I've never done nothing wrong. Why?
No. If you can't comply with a simple instruction of removing the hat.
The lady next to me asked to take a picture of me, so I put it back on. She was taking pictures for her daughter, and the next thing you know, they come right back over there
I don't
again.
know all the
Yeah,
specifics.
that's
I'm just saying,
insane.
I'm
That's
giving you the
stupid.
options, okay?
People
Either
were
you keep
scared
the
of a
off
hat.
and you follow the instructions
Scared of a person
the
wearing a
flight
hat.
attendants, because in the case of an emergency, how do I know, based on this simple little issue, that you would follow?
Yeah.
All right.
If that is that Delta's policy, because I understand the captain of the ship, that's his ship. I mean, it's a plane, but it's a ship. He is the captain, and really what he says goes. He's the final say so. He's the one driving the thing, just like a boat captain. They're the captain of that boat. They're the ones calling the shots.
Let's go back to the real issue here, and that's what I said yesterday. What's up with these dudes getting these manicures and painting their nails? Did you see that captain who's, by the way, his name was P. Lane. His name was Plain. P. Lane on the
He
tag.
changed his name to that.
His name was P. Lane. He flies a P. Lane. This is a debacle for Delta, and it is. It's going to be a debacle for that gay pilot right there too, because you can't tell me with those fingernails that dude ain't got a dancing banana in that hand. But this is the thing, because those were like, that wasn't just a shiny. No, he had a little girl fancy and his rings on and stuff like that. So, and then he says, I hope you blow this up. I hope you blow this up. And then he got nervous when he realized he was recording that whole deal.
Yeah, it looked like he put his hands maybe on him or on the camera, and as soon as you do that, that's assault.
Wait, here comes them fingers. Look at these little girl fingers. Oh, wait, we're going to get to them, because this is real news.
I'm gonna put the glasses on for these fingers.
Did you not see them?
I saw some
Hey,
rings. I saw
look at
some
that.
rings, some manicure.
Look at
I know
that.
lots of dudes that wear rings, though. I wear a couple on mine, but they're
Steve,
not.
forget about the rings. Look at the dude's fingers.
Oh, he's got nails. I mean, are they
That's
painted
literally
or
what
are they
we've been talking about,
they
Steve.
like glossed?
Yeah, and long, pointed, manicured, like French.
Maybe he's just really conscious of his cleanliness and hygiene.
He's got a little cross on his little pinky ring, though.
Yeah.
I mean, what in the
Hey.
world are we living in?
I know lots of gays that love Jesus, and Jesus loves all gays. So
What does that got to do with the price of eggs on Delta?
because he has a cross, and the cross is that's the
I'm
logo.
not making an issue out of the cross. I'm just saying he's got one.
That's the Christian logo. That's like the Nike swoosh sign for Nike. We got the cross.
You know, sometimes I wish they'd deplatform us just so I didn't have to listen to this crap. Just kick us off right now.
No,
I'm just saying, the dude's
we have a
got,
positive message to bring to the world.
he's got nails on.
Okay.
He got nails on.
As
Anyway.
long as he's qualified to fly the plane, he needs to get up there and fly the plane. He shouldn't be worried about his airline stewardess scared of a hat.
Well,
whoever
there
was
it
scared
is.
of it.
That's what happens. That's the world we're living in, because every time you go out in public now, it's a moral test. The bottom line is they are judging you, and they can shut you down and they can cancel you. See, cancellation goes not just online anymore. They can do it out in the general public. So I hope Delta absolutely catches hell for this. But
And the thing about it is, Delta don't they let you pick your own seat, or is that somebody else? That's somebody
no,
else.
that's Southwest.
Yeah.
Depending on where you board or when you board. Yeah, that's Southwest and Allegiant.
Man, I have sat next to people on plane that I would actually have nothing in common with. I probably dislike them. I hear them talking, stuff like that. But I can sit there in silence and ride on that plane because I want to get to where I'm going in peace.
Well, I mean, that guy was sitting down in peace, but that
Yeah.
was
And that's the people around us. They want to make a deal out of everything.
yeah. Anyway, let's move on. All right, a couple of things from this next story. TPUSA has announced the Super Bowl halftime show to protest Bad Bunny. Guess what? We have as well with Make Music Right. We're putting all that together. So I'm glad to see TPUSA is doing basically a Christian worship service, I think, between the deal. That's what they announced. And then our organization, Make Music Right, we've been in talks with a number of folks yeah, I can name them. You know who they are. We're putting on one as well.
Yeah,
So
I
we've
just
got,
wish when they would do stuff like this,
It's
and
almost
they
like
put
I was
this,
talking. I don't know. It's weird.
I'm talking. When they put stuff out like this, they have to use that other person's name that's doing the Super Bowl. They ought to just leave that out of it and say, hey, we're doing our own thing, because all they do is now everybody goes and looks up who are they trying to, quote, boycott.
Well, that's the whole point. And that's that's this person at MAGA Voice said that that's what they're doing. And if you put Bad Bunny in the post, but since you're monetizing now, Steve, if you put Bad Bunny in the post, it'll actually get a bigger reach.
All right. I make 30 more cents today. I'm going to do it later.
I'm telling you, dude, you are on the way. You are 100% on the way.
I bet I got a Bad Bunny around here somewhere.
Mention Bad Bunny, mention P. Diddy, anything like that. But no, so we got a number of things that are going to be happening, so stay tuned for all the stuff that's going to be happening. I'll just say this. You're going to have options for the Super Bowl. You're going to have some options. Trump had the Antifa roundtable. He didn't have Antifa there, but he did have some of the folks that have been on the street. He brought in some of the folks who have been there. Just disappointed David Medina's not sitting right there. What's the deal? But a number of the folks who have been on the street there in Portland, he came in and had a press conference with them sitting at the table right in front of the mainstream media. Last time they did that to me, they made me the bad guy. But play this clip, see what Trump says.
It should be clear to all Americans that we have a very serious left-wing terror threat in our country. Radicals associated with the domestic terror group Antifa that you've heard a lot about lately, and I've heard a lot about them for 10 years. And other far-left extremists have been carrying out a campaign of violence against ICE agents and other officials charged with enforcing federal law. In Chicago, anarchists have surveilled at least 4 local ICE facilities and posted diagrams of the buildings online, meaning nothing but bad, accompanied by photos of specific ICE agents that they're targeting, one in particular who's a top person and a great patriot. In July, approximately a dozen Antifa-aligned militants stormed the ICE facility in Texas and then lured officers out of the building before firing dozens of rounds at police. They were crazy, frankly, shooting one Texas officer in the neck. And in Portland, Oregon, Antifa thugs have repeatedly attacked our officers and laid siege to federal property in an attempt to violently stop the execution of federal law. Everything we're doing is very lawful.
Let's go ahead and stop
what
right
they're
there.
doing.
So Trump goes on and on and on. I mean, again, let's see some consequences for all of this stuff. He's listing off all of these absolute atrocities, and it's a tragic situation with these protests. And not only that, I mean, when you got violent militants shooting a sniper rifle in Dallas at ICE agents, and
let's go after the people that are financing them, because Antifa as a group, and you're not going to. I mean, you may find a quote leader here or there, but it's as an organization, but they're getting money from somewhere.
Yeah, and this is
not
an
jobs.
interesting. This is an interesting clip here. One of the people that was there, one of the reporters, independent journalists, whatever you want to call these folks sitting around the table. We know all of these guys and gals. And this is Brandy Cruz, who talks about her former Trump derangement syndrome. Play a little bit of this.
The single most powerful thing you've done to deal with this scourge has been acknowledging that Antifa is a real thing. I genuinely believe there would be people at these tables who would be dead today and would have been killed in Portland had you not called them a terror organization and said, we're going to bring the full weight of the federal government to bear. I talked to Katie Daviscourt in Portland the other day. She'd been assaulted all summer. And she said the same thing. They didn't seem quick to violence as soon as you made that designation. So they're thinking in their heads, they're worried in Portland, they don't want to go to federal prison. There's this video of them, one of them who was in the face of an ICE agent, and then he's in custody shaking. Once you take the mask off, they're nothing. And I was told by probably a dozen people not to tell you this. I'm going to tell it to you anyway, because it's relevant to what we're talking about.
Got Trump's attention.
I'm living proof that you can recover from TDS. I had strong Trump derangement syndrome for probably 8 years. This is one of the reasons I recovered from it. And by the way, it's much better to not have TDS. I'm happier, I'm healthier, more successful.
Amen.
I even think I got a little more attractive after I got rid of my sphincter derangement syndrome. Yes.
All right, stop it right
She
there.
definitely has a sense of humor. I love it.
I mean, anybody that can, it's going to take an element of humility to be able to come out and say, listen, I was wrong on this, and that's exactly what Brandy did in this. But she's right in regards to, because something you said a second ago, Steve, is you find out who's paying them. See, these thugs are used to having no consequences. Yeah. Nothing happens to them. They can go out there and act any way they want to act, and nobody's going to do anything about it. Like that guy the other day that we featured who spit, he was screaming at that ICE agent, and then he spit on his face. That dude's up for like 8 years in the federal pen now. Yeah. So, I mean, those are the kind of consequences that are going to make you think very
imagine
twice,
going in
very
the joint
much twice.
Going in the joint and getting locked up. What you in for? I'll spit in that guy's face.
I spit on a dude's
You're doing
face.
8 years. You're gonna be getting a lot of spitting done on you.
Yeah, but
Not the good kind either.
But good for her.
Yeah,
good for her, and I like it. And then you've got the whistleblower that exposes Antifa, embedded in homeless nonprofits. So play this clip.
For Frontlines Turning Point USA. I'm also a senior fellow at Discovery Institute in Seattle. And I cover far-left extremism as well as the homeless drug crisis in America. And I find it oftentimes those worlds intersect. And hot off the presses, what I wanted to bring to your attention today is a report from a Capital Research Center here in D.C. in conjunction with Discovery Institute. They just put out this study right now, and what it shows is that Antifa is heavily embedded in the homeless and housing nonprofit sector. In many cases, the homeless industrial complex is running cover for Antifa. Antifa is benefiting from American tax dollars, and they're essentially being used as the muscle. Let me give you an example. There's a group called Stop the Sweeps in many U.S. cities right now. They get in front of encampment sweeps. What they're doing quietly is they're bringing in Antifa militants to manufacture a crisis to make the police look bad. Another group right now that is behind Antifa and working with Antifa very closely, based on the research that we have right now that we're going to give to you and your team, are the Democratic Socialists of America, also known as DSA. Again, these far-left progressive groups.
Now, I want to remind everybody what we talked about on Monday about how that cult bust in all of those homeless people into Oregon, and that was back in the 80s, and how they were trying to rig elections by busing in homeless people. And then when they shut all that down, the homeless people stayed. And so there's no doubt in my mind that that ongoing homeless situation has helped, as he said, use the taxpayer dollars to help fund what Antifa is doing, because that is very heavily embedded there in places like Portland, Oregon. So no doubt about it. No doubt about it. So, yeah, that's, but again, you're going to look at Portland. It could happen in any city in America. The government, meanwhile, I mean, this is sort of like, I don't know how to think about this. Like, I was trying to figure it out. Is it good that we're in the middle of a government shutdown right now with all of this stuff going on?
There's some benefits of it.
I mean, I don't know. Is it? I mean, when you're losing certain fundings or something like that for, some of the enforcement arms of some things, I don't know. Or maybe they can enforce some things better without these government, watchdogs that are out there doing all the things. I don't know. I honestly don't know. The Hakeem Jeffries and Mike Lawler, they're talking about the shutdown. They kind of had a little clash. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries, little Timu Obama. Here's what he had to say right here.
We sign on right now. Why don't we sign on right now?
From your boss?
Why don't we sign on right now?
Did your boss Donald Trump?
You can easily extend the ACA right now.
Donald Trump
He's not my boss.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not. And by the way, why did you vote to shut the government down? Why did you vote to shut it down?
Let me ask you a question.
For years, you always lectured about how we need to keep the government open.
You're making a show of this to
make
yourself relevant.
It's sad. You could easily sign on to this.
You're embarrassing yourself right now.
You could sign on to this. The only embarrassment here is you.
You're an embarrassment.
You could sign on to the bill.
Let me ask you a question.
You have 4 Democrats on on here.
Let me
Why
ask you a
won't you
question.
sign
Let me
on
ask
to
you a
it?
question.
It's a clean
Let me
extension
ask you a
for 1
question.
year.
You voted for the one big
Clean
ugly bill,
extension.
correct?
I voted for a
The
tax
largest-
cut bill that gave the
the
largest
largest
tax
cut-
cut
the
to
largest-
Americans in history,
the
including, by
largest-
the way, the average New Yorker getting a $4,000 tax cut. Are you against that?
You're embarrassing
Do you want
yourself
to
right now.
cut the standard deduction in
The
half? Is that
largest
what you
cut
wanted
to
to do?
Medicaid in
No, we
American
rooted
history.
out
You voted
waste,
for that.
fraud, and abuse, by the way.
You voted
Tom DiNapoli, the
for a
Democratic
permanent-
controller of New
Let me
York,
ask you a question.
pointed out that $1.2
If
billion
you're gonna-
were wasted.
Listen, you're not going
wasted,
to talk. You're not going to talk to
wasted
me. You're not
on
going to talk to me
fraud
and talk
and
over
non-New
me
York residents
because you don't
getting
want to
paid.
hear what I have to say.
Oh, I'm
So
listening.
why don't
Go
you
ahead.
just keep your mouth shut?
Oh,
because you
is
showed
that-
up.
is that the way to
you
talk?
showed up. You showed up.
Yeah.
And so you voted for this one
I
big
signed
ugly
on
bill.
to this. You can extend it
A
right now.
permanent extension of massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors.
So 90% of
So
Americans.
they can get a permanent extension.
90% of Americans
working
take the
class
standard
Americans
deduction.
can? Is that right?
90% of Americans take the standard deduction.
Is that
right?
right?
If
All
you
right,
had your
so
way,
you
the
get the
standard
point of what's
deduction.
going to happen here. And again, he's going to say you're embarrassing yourself. I don't think he's embarrassing himself at all. I go back. I don't understand what this whole just keep repeating yourself over and over again instead of engaging in some active dialogue. Why don't you actually have a conversation? This frustrates me to death. Why don't Hakeem Jeffries just going to keep repeating the same thing over and over and over again? They never want to deal with these issues. I'm so sick of politicians, dude. I'm so sick of these self-serving, self-promoting, self-aggrandizing. It's ridiculous.
Well, don't you think in a sense that we create those? We vote them into office. They're going up there to do a good thing. And then we put them in those positions. And then nowadays, who can get the most, hits on the TV and on the news? Who talks the loudest? Who, gets in somebody's face? That kind of thing.
I was talking to somebody yesterday who this is the time of year when everybody is reaching out to me wanting me to give an endorsement to some candidate that's running for something. I don't know why they do it, but they do it, okay?
Yeah, even if you don't live anywhere in their district.
It's all over Texas, right? I get asked to do all these endorsements. And I'm at a point now where if I don't know you personally, if I don't have any skin in the game, like I'm not putting my endorsement out there because as soon as it comes out publicly that I've endorsed somebody, my phone starts blowing up with somebody that I haven't heard from in 4 years, and they're pissed at me.
Why'd you
and they want
endorse
to know,
that?
why didn't you talk to me before you did this? Well, I didn't. I took this morning, and I didn't talk to you before that either. So, again, and you're right, Kevin. His goal is to frustrate me. That's what these guys do, and that's the point that I'm trying to make. Is you have these people that get elected off of name recognition. So somebody was talking to me yesterday about endorsing a new candidate, and I said, well, he's going to have a hard time because the person that's in there right now, you may not like him, but he's got name recognition, and you're going to have a hard time getting him out of there. Because people who don't pay attention to anything frustrates me in the state of Texas and everywhere else, but Texas especially, people don't show up for the primaries. They don't even know when the primaries are. They don't know when the runoff elections are. And so they're not engaged. They're not active. They don't understand civics. They don't understand how our primaries even work in the state of Texas. And you elect these people to go off and take care of the crap that you don't want to take care of, and you don't even know what their job is supposed to be. So how could you even hold them accountable to getting something done when you don't even know what their job description is? 90% of the people in America right now, and I'm talking about 90% of the people who vote, if you sent them to Washington, D.C. to be a congressman or woman right now, they would have no clue what that job entails.
Well, the very
Not
first
a single clue.
They do. The very first thing that they do when they get up there is start investing in the stock market. And
yeah, but I'm saying
come back
the
rich.
average voter has no clue what a person in Congress does.
Yeah,
They have no clue.
I'm just saying they go up there and learn how to. All of a sudden, they're stock market investors.
Well, there's a lot of them that's true. A lot of them that's true. And this shutdown thing is ridiculous because again, the hypocrisy of the left, who was talking about how it was going to kill all these people if we shut the government down. That was the last time. That was the last go around. And then because of the Republicans, we averted that shutdown. But now, because of the Democrats, we're 8 or 9 days into that at this point in time.
Yeah.
So,
I want to think. Let's history lesson. Didn't Obama go 17 days because of the whole Obamacare? I think it's about 17 or 18 days,
something like that. But I think we had one that was like 31 days during the last Trump administration. I mean, shutdowns happen; they do happen. But these, guys like Schumer and what was it I was saying to somebody this morning? Nancy Pelosi, she's not blinking yet, but most of that's because of her plastic surgeon. I was going to talk about Byron Donalds, talking about the shutdown, but let's talk about Birch Gold. Birch Gold, text Chad to 989898. They are our friends with an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. Birch Gold can help you diversify with a tax-sheltered IRA to take care of your future. With an IRA backed by physical gold. Gold is through the roof right now. Can you imagine what you'd have if you'd have listened to me a year ago talking about this? It's going to continue to hold its value and go higher with the devaluation of the dollar. So text CHAD, I spell it Chad, to 989898. And they got tens of thousands of satisfied customers. So if you got a savings plan that's not doing anything, just sitting there drawing a little interest, let Birch Gold handle it. And you know what? They sent me, dadgummit, I didn't bring it down here. They sent me their brand new Birch Gold silver round that they will give you with an investment of $5,000. They will, and silver hit 51. I see that. So with the new investment, they'll send you a free silver round as well. So text Chad to 989898. They got a number of deals going right now, and they can help you diversify your retirement. Plus, you can invest and get some of that silver in your pocket. And I had it sitting right over there. There it is, and I can't reach it. But I need you guys to text Chad to 989898. Do it, do it, do it. It helps take care of this show, and we value them as a partner. Trump announces the peace deal, okay? So, Trump's just going to keep stopping. Every time he announces a peace deal, he says he stopped another war. The proof's going to be in the pudding. This is the first phase of the ceasefire. I've seen a lot of people posting on X today saying that Israel was bombing civilians as soon as the peace deal was announced. That is not true. That's not what was happening. He says, I'm very proud to announce that Israel and Hamas have both signed off on the first phase of our peace plan. This means that all of the hostages will be released very soon, and Israel will withdraw their troops to an agreed-upon line as the first steps towards a strong, durable, and everlasting peace. Now, the problem I had is last week he said the hostages got to be returned today, like tonight. Now it says very soon. I don't like that type of language. Let's get it done. Let's get it done now.
I think he put a deadline of like Sunday.
Yeah. And so let's you got mediators, Qatar, Egypt, Turkey, who work, blessed are the peacemakers. But again, these announcements keep coming out. And back to that thing where people are saying, oh, they're bombing civilians. No, they were throwing smoke grenades, bombs, whatever, in the street to stop people from going into that northern area right there and turning them back. And people say, well, there's a ceasefire. No, it's not a ceasefire. The ceasefire had just been announced, and it had not gone into effect yet. So, fingers crossed that this thing is gonna happen. No, I mean, I don't trust anybody involved in this thing, but I do pray that we'll get some peace. We'll, again, proof is in the pudding. Let's see what's up.
Yeah, I don't trust any of them.
Now, if he can pull this off, no doubt about it, he deserves a Nobel Prize for whatever that's worth. I mean, it's probably like the tail on a pig. It don't really add any flavor to the meat, but, it'd be a great thing if he could do it. Is that a picture or is that a clip? Oh, J.D. Vance. The White House released an epic new photo of the moment President Trump entered the Oval Office to finalize historic peace in Gaza. He was alerted to the development by Marco Rubio during the Antifa roundtable. So that's good. He got done with those independent journalists and went in there. There's another cool picture from outside the Oval Office that somebody took through the window that I thought was pretty cool. So, yeah.
I always worry about these announcements being made a little prematurely. I know they have to put it out there because it's good press and stuff like that, but get the deal done.
Yeah. Benny Johnson, there's that picture right there. That's a cool shot right there, finding out about that peace deal. Pigtail, how does that taste? It tastes just like the rest of the pig. We used to cut them off when we were barbecuing whole hogs and whatever. That thing would get done before the rest of the pig. We cut that thing off about 2 a.m. Go ahead and eat that sucker. Makes you want some pork, don't it?
Yep. Probably going to have it.
Yeah, I like it. About time to do a whole hog. President Trump on his monumental Gaza peace deal. This is from Benny Johnson. So great for Israel, so great for Muslims, for the Arab countries, and so great for this country in that we would be involved in making a deal like this happen. This is peace in the Middle East.
It's a great honor to be involved in it. We had some tremendous help, as you know, with everybody from Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner and Marco and We had everybody, JD, the whole group was just amazing.
Birch.
And the military was, as you know, very instrumental in getting this done. We have a great military with great leadership. The whole world came together, to be honest. So many countries that you wouldn't have even thought of it, they came together. The world has come together around this deal. And that's something I would say that without that wouldn't happen. So many countries that you wouldn't have thought of have wired their best wishes and their commitment to do whatever is necessary. The countries surrounding have all signed. I mean, they're all signed up, and it's been really an amazing period of time, and so great for Israel, so great for Muslims, for the Arab countries, and so great for this country, for the United States of America, and that.
Dr. Oz.
Were they able to do all that without dropping off a pallet of cash in the middle of town square?
That's amazing. I can remember back when my son was like 12 years old, whenever Trump was running his first term. I can remember asking my kids what they thought about the candidates, like the Republican candidates during the primaries, and I can remember my son saying, "Well, if Trump gets it, he's gonna start a lot of new wars." And I was like, "Where are you hearing that?" He goes, "From school." Because he was having to take special classes. He's so smart. He's a prodigy. We'd have to bus him to these math classes. And he's like, I'm hearing it, from school. And it's like everybody was saying that Trump was going to get everybody into all these wars. And Trump has not done that. I mean, he just simply has not done this. So look at this. This is corporate media praising Trump here. Pulled off something that presidents failed to do. Play the clip.
Make no mistake, it looks like President Trump has actually pulled off something here that many presidents before him have failed to do.
Just need to underscore what an enormous moment this is for so many people in this region, for the people of Gaza who have endured 2 years of war, for the families of these 48 remaining hostages who have endured 2 years of absolute agony. This is a watershed moment.
We've heard it again and again from a number of people today, really giving credit to President Trump for getting this deal over the finish line. What are you hearing from your sources with regard to President Trump's role in getting both parties to sign off on at least the first phase of this peace plan?
Well, certainly this is an enormous moment for the world, but also for this administration, a big win for the president who has been very personally involved in this, Lindsay.
Is a major accomplishment for President Trump, something that he's been really trying to work toward. There's been a lot of critics and questioning of whether or not he could pull off sort of negotiating and working to try to get all these sides together. Of course, there were a lot of nations involved. So this is, of course, not just a victory for President Trump, but really a number of Arab nations, Hamas, and of course, Israel. But this is
listen to every word of it, dude. Because I'm telling you, that's some amazing stuff.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that after a couple of thousand years, all of a sudden everything's going to be cool. So I'm going to be very cautiously optimistic.
As long as there's people, and especially people with thousands of years of history of animosity like we've got in a situation in the Middle East, you're going to have stuff that's going to turn back around. But if we can get some peace, if we can get some people where they can live, I'd love to see it. I think everybody else would. I'll save my full comments on that for my final word later on. But, they're running odds at this point on Trump winning the Nobel Peace Prize. Said his odds have now doubled in the past 24 hours, and the committee will announce the award tomorrow. Even John Fetterman supports the idea of Trump getting the Peace Prize. I would agree with Eric Doherty that the deal should solidify this. And so, boom, there it is. That looks like your Bitcoin right there.
And one of the things that's hard to believe that a big shout out to Marco Rubio, somebody that I thought going in was just going to be a dead fish.
Yeah.
And he has not been. He has overachieved everything I thought.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, I always, you got to stay vigilant with all of this stuff. You just do. And we as Americans have to. We can't sit back on our laurels and rest comfortably in some false sense of security thinking everything's okay in the Middle East. This is something you got to keep your finger on the pulse of at all times. And this wouldn't have happened with Kamala Harris. Again, anybody can argue all they want to about who, not liking Trump. This would not have happened with a Kamala Harris presidency.
Fact.
Damn sure wouldn't have happened with Joe Biden.
And it wouldn't happen without Pete Hegseth, and it wouldn't happen without those men that are standing up for America, surrounding the president, not bowing to everybody that walks in the room.
Yeah, I mean, all these protesters out there saying, protect Palestine and free Palestine, and the free Palestine people. Okay, you got your wish.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as I can tell, he just did it. So we'll see how it plays out.
I've actually seen people on social media. Now they're flip-flopping the other way. They're calling Netanyahu's puppet, all that kind of stuff. I'm like, shut up. Pick a side and stand on it and keep it there.
They got to do the opposite of whatever. No. If Trump came out tomorrow and said spray tan was bad, everybody'd start turning orange. I mean, they would. they would paint their faces orange. So, that's a ridiculous world we're living in. All right, let's move over to the pinheads of the day.
All right.
And get to some pinheads. This is California Democrat gubernatorial candidate Katie Porter.
California Democrat.
Yeah, it's sort of redundant. This is she was doing like a hit on or something. She was in her kitchen doing this screen thing, and she's got a staffer that keeps getting behind her. Listen to her. Play the clip.
And I never have to go to the gas station.
That's awesome. And $632 is real money. And I know here at UCI, we have a National Fuel Center Research Center, and they're also doing work on how to make electric vehicles affordable, including for low and moderate income people, working moms, single moms like me, people who really could benefit from an extra $632 in their pocket. And it's also not just the individual savings, but it's also the total savings for our economy. So I'm on the oversight committee, you might know, and that is where we did a study recently this fall in September. And what it showed is if we don't electrify our transportation sector, that we're going to lose more than 500,000 Californians dying prematurely to air pollution and other problems. And the state could lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually incorrect. It's not that it's electric vehicles. It's that if we don't meet the commitments under the Paris Climate Accord.
Okay, it does. Okay, you also were in my shot before that. Stay out of my shot. Lose. Get out of my fucking shot.
I wanted to tell you that that's actually
okay.
And this is the same woman that walked out on the other interview.
I just love the fact that her staffer is wearing a mask and pulls the mask down to tell her that she's wrong on what she's saying. She pulls her freaking mask down to tell her that that her facts are, quote, facts are wrong. Her numbers are off, according to the Paris Climate Accords. Oh, Katie.
She got hateful. Chad, I've been in the background of your shots on accident a few times. You don't ever yell at me like that. You say,
no, I never have.
It's
but she needs.
Hey,
she needs some.
You yell at David, but
David's in my ear saying I yell at him. I don't yell at anybody.
You were on fire this morning a little bit.
I was not on fire.
I kept my mouth shut during that little pre-thing. I know when to keep my mouth shut sometimes.
Hey, you got David in my ear talking about. I was kind and nice. I just said I don't care about other people's stuff. I care about my stuff.
As you should. That's the way it should be.
We're talking about producing shows, man. I like my stuff. I want my stuff. That's why I've got to remember you're born for meaning, and your stuff has meaning. Here's a pink-haired lib, just like a California Democrat. Another pinhead of the day. Look at this one. She says ICE is ugly. Look at this one.
Oh,
what
my
is this?
goodness.
If you support ICE, you're ugly, and I bet you got like a micropene. If you're like a woman that supports ICE,
is he like a woman or is she like a man?
you got like a micropene. Your husband's probably ugly with micropene. Fuck you.
Wow.
I think they, them, it was having some, self, they were looking in the mirror or something.
Maybe that's what you need to do to monetize more of your stuff. Is you need to cook yourself some ramen noodles and go sit in a car.
I promise there's no ramen noodle in my house.
And talk about micropene. And you need to put on a pink. Get on there and do a Jabba the Hutt. Hola solo. Good Lord. I wasn't ready for that impersonation. What am I sitting on? I'm hung up, Steve.
What are you doing? You're dancing like the dancing bananas. Get the dancing bananas. One more time before the show's over. Let's get a dancing banana going. Let's have some fun. I still got it. Bam, bam.
You didn't eat.
I just broke my banana.
Now you got a micropene.
I'm gonna have Cash is gonna eat banana. Dogs. Oh, can dogs eat bananas?
Well, you about to find out.
We are. We are. It's not chocolate covered or anything. I know chocolate's bad for dogs, but I'm not sure. Bananas should be fine.
Bananas be all right. Just get a little potassium. That's so funny, dude. And that dude wanted to call everybody out for having a micropene. That dude hadn't seen his peen in 15 years. Fat ramen noodle eating pink haired dude.
I'm not so sure that was a dude.
I don't know. Pull it back up, David.
Let's
take a vote in the chat. Is that a dude?
I'm a little confused.
Is it a dude? Let me do some micropene bananas. They're praised bananas on Before the Noise.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can. Let's do another vote if that's a man. Play the clip.
Fuck you. If you support ICE, you're ugly, and I bet you got like a micropene. If you're like a woman that supports ICE, your husband's probably ugly with micropene.
Look at that throat. It looks like a goiter. Ugh. Solo. Yeah, there's no way.
And we are not fat shaming her or him or her. We're just ugly shaming.
Well, you should be ashamed of being that ugly. You should be ashamed if you're that ugly. Hit your like button, the thumbs up, and hit the subscribe on Rumble. I had to get on to Rumble today. Had to get on to them because we're supposed to be that live feature. I said, listen, guys, you got to hold up your end of the deal. We're supposed to be live featured from what time? 8 to 7 to, what time am I on?
7 a.m. Central.
Yeah, I got to be on at 7. If I'm going to be on for an hour, then you know what? I need you guys to put us in the live feed. That's why we're doing it for an hour. I'm working myself to death. Joel doesn't like the god-awful Dogs hat. You know what? People tend to not like winners, but you know what? We're going to be playing in Auburn this week. I see you, War Eagle. War Eagle. I see it. I got some kids that are Auburn educated. Bless their heart. We pray for them. Probably paying for them the rest of their life. All right, y'all follow Party Foul Steve at Party Foul Steve.
All the social medias and Venmo.
And join his Make Wellness team. Steve, that Fit that you're drinking, that'll keep you regular too.
That does. Between the Fit and the Hydrate, I stay, and the coffee, I stay regular. You talked about it before the show. You know, what's the longest I've ever been? Yeah. Maybe like 26 hours. I'm pretty regular.
That's a long time to hold a poop. That's a long time to hold a poop.
I'm a daily kind of guy. So.
All right, let's get over to my final word, and I'll let you guys get out of here. Look how dressed up I am in that image. All right, they're saying there's peace in the Middle East again. Every few years, I think we're seeing these headlines with hope where you got a treaty signed and a handshake and a ceasefire and a summit where old enemies smile for the cameras. Now, every time we as Americans start to lean in on this, and I do want this to be a thing, right? I think those of us with common sense, we really can agree on this. We're weary from war, and we really do long for something good to come out of any volatile region, particularly that volatile region. But we have to be honest. We've seen the movie before, right? It usually ends with another explosion or another betrayal or another reminder that peace without truth is just a pause between battles. So how should we as Americans respond to this news? Well, I think we should with gratitude, yes, but not with gullibility, right? We have hope, but not naivety, because peace built on deception is a time bomb, and real peace doesn't come from politicians signing papers. That's just a fact. It comes from people changing their hearts. And right now, that's our biggest speculation. I see you in the chat. Has anybody had a change of heart? That kind of peace only comes through truth and justice, and we should pray for peace, of course. We should always desire that men and women in that region and around the world can live without fear of rockets and terror, but we must also remember that peace that requires Israel to give up security or peace that demands America to compromise its principles, in my opinion, that's not peace at all. And that goes for everybody. Ultimately, that's manipulation. It's the illusion of stability built on the back of appeasement. Now, our founders, this is what I want to get to, is just a kind of a history lesson. Our founders truly believed in peace through strength. And I think we're on the verge of seeing that played out consistently in our country in these moments. We don't believe in peace through surrender. And if we've learned anything from the last century, it's that tyrants interpret kindness as weakness. The only kind of peace that endures is one that's enforced by moral clarity and the strength of conviction. And we can't buy peace with silence or with oil or with treaties that ignore the reality of evil. So while the world is cheering and the photo ops are out there, I want us to watch with discernment and remember that Iran's regime still chants death to America. Hamas still exists to destroy Israel. Radical ideologies don't evaporate because diplomats clink glasses at the table. But we can respond differently than before in this situation, because something I'm pushing everyone to is that we can pray. We can pray for peace. If you believe in praying for the peace of Jerusalem, however you choose to define Jerusalem, we can pray for peace in that part of the world. There's no more need for senseless death on either side. But we can strengthen our alliances with those who share our values and hopefully bring others that don't share them over to our side. I know it's an ideological war that's hard to compete in, but we can reject the propaganda that paints, terrorists as freedom fighters. And most importantly, we can look inward, because peace abroad will never be sustained if there's chaos right here at home. And it's kind of hard for us to point judgmental fingers to other parts of the world when our own cities are aflame. Now, America can't export stability if she's collapsing morally from within. And that's my biggest hope right now, is to realize that the greatest threat to peace may not come from a missile overseas, but from moral decay that's rotting our resolve right here at home. So yes, let's celebrate peace, but let's also stay vigilant, because real peace requires courage, truth, and faith. And as Americans, if we ever forget that, well, we're going to lose not only the peace abroad, but the freedom within our own borders. And unfortunately, it is very much on the edge of collapse. Folks, get my book, Born for Meaning, and join me each morning before the noise. I will be back tomorrow morning at 8/7 Central before the noise. Subscribe on Rumble and YouTube. Leave us a rating and review. And please do me a favor, all 3,111 people watching this program live right now, please go to where Apple Podcasts are. If you can do it, and leave me a rating and review, and listen to some of the episodes over there. Even if you just listen to 5 minutes, listen to some of the audio episodes of Before the Noise. I'm trying to drive that further up the charts and get it even more coverage. So please help me. I think it's an important message, and I'm enjoying doing it. It is the highlight of my day, besides arguing with Party Foul Steve and David Medina, okay? I love them both. They're my brothers, and we have fun together. Follow them both, at Party Foul Steve and at David Medina PDX. And he won't say it, but I'm pissed off that he wasn't invited to the White House yesterday to sit at that round table. And I'm going to let some people know about it. So anyway, y'all follow them, because we're doing the unsung hero stuff over here, having a good time mid-morning for you on the Chad Prather Show. Get the book. Subscribe to the stuff. Go to beforethenoise.com. Get caught up. All the things. Click like, click subscribe, all that stuff. Look how beautiful that little video is right there. Before the Noise. That's what you see. That's what you see before we head into those hour-long episodes where we just bringing you Jesus, man. And we're talking about John chapter 12. That's what we're at. So they're getting ready to put the pressure on Jesus. We're going to get into the drama of that here in the upcoming days. I love you guys. God bless you. Thanks for joining. I will talk to you tomorrow morning. Don't get pink hair, and don't let your kids pierce their septums. And I'll see you later. Bye.